It's been good so far. I think Svenskeren is a lot. I think I work better together with him because we talk a lot together, and it's easy to be on the same page with him. I think we're still making some mistakes, but I think it's something that feels a lot easier to work on with him. Not because Contractz was like toxic or anything, but it just feels easier to communicate with him, and he talks a lot more.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because he came from TSM, which is an organization that's very well structured, and they put a lot of emphasis on communication, and I think that's something he's kind of brought with him. Yes, Syndra has definitely phased out. I think Orianna could actually be okay right now, but I think the main factor is the spellbook is just too strong right now. So like champions like Ryze and Malzahar, you can't really punish them too well in lane, and those were like matchups where Orianna and Syndra would do really well in, but then you'd also kind of need to be ahead to play that matchup well for it to be worth playing. But you can't really punish them that well now when the enemy mid laner just can TP back to lane every 3 minutes and just has a free TP without really losing out much. So I think that the main issue is right now that spellbook is too strong, and the spellbook is not something that synergizes as well with those champions. I think Impact would definitely be a good fit for us, but unfortunately we can't have free imports, and he wanted to leave as well, I guess. And I think Impact's weaknesses is that he's just a really great tank player and stuff, but like whenever the meta like changes into like carry tops and stuff like that, he's not really like, doesn't feel like he's on the same level as all the other players. I think he plays something like semi tanks like really good, like something like Gnar or J4, those kind of stuff he's really good at. But like bruisers, he tends to struggle a bit, and it seemed like he had a hard time just picking it up in general. But I think that's honestly the only thing I can really criticize Impact about, because he was a really good teammate and just overall like a good player. And yeah. I don't know. I think it was an old funny joke, and then I never really thought about changing it because I don't really use my Twitter that much. But I was thinking about changing it, but I thought it was funny at the same time. But I'm probably gonna get it changed soon because it's been like what? I think it's been like 2 years now, maybe 1 year, 1.5. So yeah, I should definitely get it changed.
What next? What vegetable?
I don't think I'll be going for vegetable anymore. Just a normal picture. We tried a Korean bootcamp when we changed roster to Impact and Meteors, and it was me, Sneaky, and I think we had Bunny Fufu at the time, and then we eventually swapped over to Smoothie. I thought it was pretty helpful, but at the same time, during the off season, you don't want to like practice super hard because people need to rest and stuff. So I think it's just like the biggest thing is people want to have time where they can like rest, and yeah, usually like you don't want to be playing League 24/7 without any like big breaks. We tried it once, and I thought it was fine. I think we had a pretty good start to the season when we did that, and we learned a lot, definitely. But I definitely don't think it's necessary, because I think you can also learn a lot if you just play against NA teams. But I think right now, NA teams have also improved a lot more in comparison to the past. So like, if you play against Korean teams, it's not like for example, back then when we did it, if we were to like play against Korean teams, we would learn like a lot. Whereas if we played NA teams, we wouldn't learn as much. But now I think there's like a lot of good teams in NA actually, so we can still like improve a lot just playing against the NA teams here. And I think having the extra free time is just nice.
When did you see that change to where NA teams were better to scrim against? Like, was it this split, last split?
I think it's just in general just gotten like better and better as split progresses. Like the organization have just put in more how do you say that word? Infrastructure. So I think it's just being forced to be like less trolling and like more serious play, and then teams rosters is just getting better and better. And I think those are just like the main reasons. Honestly, I can't really think of any mid laner. Like I don't really like think about it that way anymore. I used to like think about it, but I think I just more think about what kind of team do I want to face, because I just like playing against the teams that performs the best, and just beat them. Because honestly, to me, yeah, I don't really think about it that way anymore. It just changed.
Think about it like that?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I'd always want to play against the better mid laners because I felt like I need to prove myself and I could learn playing against them, but I don't really have that feeling anymore.
Because you've learned so much?
I think it's just because I feel like I don't really learn too much playing against them anymore, and it's just like, I think I kind of know what to expect going against them, and so it's just like whatever to me, it's a team game, and it's mostly about how you work together with your jungler and just your team in general now, I think. Or there'd be stuff such as, how to play certain matchups, when you should try to force a base, etc., and what you want to do whenever you are ahead or you have tempo. That kind of thing was stuff I was struggling with, for example. So I think those are things I would usually learn. But now the meta is not so much about like 1v1 anymore. It's more about like working together with your jungler or just your team in general. Like if the meta would go back to like, assassin versus assassin every game, then it would be cool to play against some mid laners, but I don't really think the mid lane matchups are that hype anymore because I don't think a lot of stuff will happen in lane. Usually, if anything happens, it's mostly because the other team played better together with his jungler or just his team was better or something like that.
For more league interviews and analysis, subscribe to our channel. You can also find stats, discussions, and more on our website and mobile app at blitzesports.com.